Leenzee's ambitious debut into the Soulslike arena arrives with Wuchang, Fallen Feathers, a game that dares to blend Chinese mythology with punishing combat mechanics. Set against the backdrop of the late Ming Dynasty, this action RPG follows pirate warrior Bai Wuchang as she navigates a plague-ridden landscape while battling both external demons and her inner corruption. The game immediately distinguishes itself from the crowded Souls-like field through its vibrant visual presentation. Unlike the typically grim and muted palettes we've grown accustomed to in the genre, Wuchang embraces color and life even amidst its disease-stricken world. The environments pulse with detail, from ornate temple architecture to twisted landscapes that tell stories of their own. Wuchang's combat system revolves around the innovative Skyborn Might mechanic, a magic system that charges through perfect dodges rather than traditional mana management. This creates an engaging rhythm where defensive mastery directly fuels offensive capabilities. The clash mechanic particularly shines, allowing players to trade blows with enemies while deflecting damage, creating moments where you feel as powerful as the towering bosses you face. The weapon variety impresses with 5 distinct categories, each offering unique playstyles. Dual swords transform you into a graceful dancer of destruction, while two-handed weapons provide satisfying crowd control through area of effect attacks. The skill tree's weapon-based progression encourages experimentation, especially since respecting costs nothing, a welcome quality-of-life feature that more games should adopt. However, the combat stumbles in several key areas. Basic enemies possess an annoying tendency to ignore your attacks and continue their assault, creating a frustratingly defensive experience. Where other modern Souls-likes have refined the stagger system, Wuchang feels stuck in the past with its approach to enemy reactions. The absence of a crouch or stealth mechanic also feels like a missed opportunity in a genre that typically rewards tactical approaches. Wuchang's most unique feature is its madness mechanic, tied directly to the narrative's feathering disease. As you defeat human enemies or die repeatedly, Wuchang's corruption increases, eventually spawning an inner demon at your death location. While thematically brilliant, the execution proves more frustrating than strategic. The system punishes death with additional challenges rather than meaningful gameplay decisions. Sure, increased damage output sounds appealing, but the trade-off of taking more damage rarely feels worth the risk. The inner demon encounters often devolve into tedious obstacle courses rather than engaging combat scenarios, especially when you're already struggling with a challenging area. Here's where Wuchang's ambitions crash into harsh reality. The PC version suffers from noticeable performance issues that significantly impact the experience. Achieving stable frame rates requires enabling FSR or TSR upscaling, and even then, stuttering and frame drops persist throughout gameplay. These technical problems feel particularly jarring given the game's emphasis on precise timing and perfect dodges. The performance struggles extend beyond mere numbers. Input lag occasionally interferes with combat timing, turning challenging encounters into exercises in frustration rather than skill. For a genre where split-second reactions determine success or failure, these technical shortcomings cannot be overlooked. Boss encounters showcase both the game's potential and its problems. Some fights prove trivially easy, particularly when NPC summons handle most of the work for you. Others swing wildly in the opposite direction, presenting difficulty spikes that feel more artificial than earned. The balancing inconsistency undermines the carefully crafted progression that defines great Souls-like experiences. Despite these significant issues, Wuchang Fallen Feathers demonstrates genuine promise. The Chinese setting provides fresh narrative territory, and when the combat system clicks, it creates genuinely satisfying moments of mastery. The weapon customization offers meaningful choices, and the visual design stands among the genre's most distinctive efforts. The game succeeds most when it embraces its unique identity, rather than simply following established formulas. Moments of perfect dodge chains leading to devastating Skyborn Might combos showcase what this combat system could achieve with further refinement. The environmental storytelling effectively conveys the world's tragic history without relying on heavy exposition. Wuchang Fallen Feathers represents an admirable first attempt from Leenzee that shows flashes of brilliance obscured by technical problems and design missteps. The foundation exists for something special: engaging combat mechanics, stunning visual design, and a fresh setting that breathes new life into familiar formulas. However, the PC performance issues alone make it difficult to recommend at launch, especially when superior alternatives exist in the crowded Souls-like marketplace. Console players might find a more stable experience, but even then, the balancing problems and occasionally frustrating mechanics remain. For dedicated Souls-like enthusiasts willing to overlook technical shortcomings, Wuchang offers enough unique elements to justify exploration. Just temper your expectations, and perhaps wait for performance patches before diving into this plague-stricken world. The potential is undeniably there, it just needs more time to fully bloom.